Welcome to Imagine Peace, the podcast that invites you on a transformative journey toward a world filled with harmony and understanding. Together, let's ignite the flame of peace within ourselves and radiate it outward so we can have a future where unity prevails. This is Imagine Peace, where dreams become reality. Join us as we explore the power of compassion, the beauty of diversity, and the potential for positive change.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Imagine Peace, our podcast for 10 million for world peace. I'm Terry Angel. I'm here with my co-founder, Marbeth Dunn. Welcome, Marbeth.
Hi, Terry. Hi, Brian.
And today we are interviewing gentleman Brian Benson, and number one best-selling self-improvement and children's book author, project coach, podcast host, and TEDx speaker. As a 4-time Ironman triathlete and cross-country bicyclist, Brian knows the value of hard work and never giving up on his dreams, a message he shares with audiences through each of his creative expressions. Brian's latest book, Habits for Success, Inspired Ideas to Help You Soar, was an Amazon #1 bestseller and was selected as the 2019 Book Excellence Grand Prize Award winner. Welcome, Brian, to Imagine Peace.
Thank you, Marbeth and Terry. It's a pleasure.
It's great to have you here. I'm looking forward to getting to know more about you.
Thank you.
So can you tell us about what you are doing for world peace?
Wow. Well, I left my family business about 2008, about 15 years ago, into the unknown. And as I was just kind of working on myself to be a better version of myself, I was feeling out of balance. I ended up getting some intuitive downloads saying, expand the list you're working on for yourself and write a book. And I did, and it just pointed me in a whole new direction. So since then, I really fallen in love with just kind of trying to create positive content, whether it's a book, a short film, a TEDx presentation, a spoken word piece, you name it, a podcast. And so I believe ultimately that peace starts with each one of us. So I believe that the more self-aware that we can become, the more self-accepting and self-worthy we can feel, which in turn will make the world a more peaceful place.
Okay. I can totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So how does it feel when you're working, you're basically working for your own inner peace? How do you feel like that impacts the world?
Well, with all the different projects that I put together and the books that I put together, I try to share, I don't really try to ever tell anybody what to do, but I try to share my own journey. And so hopefully by other people witnessing maybe the work that I'm doing and the self-awareness that I'm accruing, it might give them inspiration to do the same thing. And ultimately, I think everything has a vibration. And so the more positive vibration we can get out into the world, the better.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So thinking about world peace, Brian, what does that mean to you?
That's such a big question.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think it's just everybody getting along together in acceptance, acceptance for ourselves, acceptance for others, compassion, empathy, getting together in a way that the governments and the world leaders can be there to help their individual countries as well as the world. I don't know, just not be separate, but be more union, a union. It's such a huge question, but ultimately I think just in a world where we can all live truly being ourselves, but yet in a way that is shared, where we're able to share and contribute and connect at core levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and do you think that world peace is possible?
Oh, absolutely. It's a process, and I think I believe in reincarnation, and that our universe is a loving energy ultimately. So I think And that's our basis. That's what's inside of everybody. It's just a matter of bringing more and more of it into the world to kind of separate the fear and bring more love in, because I think there's love and you got fear. So, oh gosh, yeah, of course I do. I think I think we're in a period of where we are, there's a lot more light being shown on the inauthentic ways of being and some of the people and operators that have been operating. So the more light that can be shown on that, the systems, the people, etc., I think we're heading in the right direction. And it feels like we're in a period of things kind of breaking down a little bit before they can get better. So it does seem pretty crazy out there. There's also a lot of wonderful things going on.
There sure is. Like our project, 10 million for world peace.
That's right.
And we're using meditation as the avenue to bring a shift into the world. So, Brian, why do you think meditation for peace is important?
Well, I'm a big believer in meditation. I meditate myself, and I think I was even doing it before I realized it. I used to race in triathlons, and I'd go on long bike rides and long runs, and I would just kind of get in my own little world and had a lot of things and thoughts and inspirations come to me that I don't think would have otherwise. So to answer your question, I think the more people that can really spend time getting out of their head, coming from their heart, and especially if they're focusing on a joint mission, there's no reason why that can't make a big difference. And I know it's scientifically, I think, been proven as well, as Marbeth was telling you before.
So as a triathlon,
Former triathlete.
I think I just coined a word.
Yeah.
So you basically, I think you go into a zone where you're basically like meditating while you're doing your work. Do you have like a particular peace practice that you like to practice?
That's a great question. I think, wow, no, but yes. I think as I try to become the most self-accepting and just bring as much self-love towards myself. I mean, that's something that we're all working on. I think as humans, it's probably the toughest thing for us to do, is to really get that validation coming from within. So I've worked very hard at it. So with that being said, I think meditation, I think conscious awareness of my thoughts and my words and how I interact in the world, those are kind of like a side door peace practice that I practice. That makes sense.
It makes total sense, because I know that very often when I'm walking, I'm in a meditation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If I'm out walking in the garden, I meditate while I'm doing that.
Yeah. I mean, stretching, yoga. I mean, there's just so many different things that we can do that kind of certain types of music that will throw us into that white noise. I mean,
it brings you into that space of awareness.
Nature.
Yes, absolutely. It's one of the most healing things there is, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So, Brian, how can people find you if they want to reach out to you?
Well, my website is just gbrianbenson.com, Brian with an I. I've always been called by my middle name. I'm never called Gary. So it's gbrianbenson.com. Yeah, and I'm on social media as under the same.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We appreciate your time that you've spent with us today and the energy that is there, and you are very much a part of that in supporting us in this mission. It's going to take all of us. It takes a village to bring 10 people together, and we certainly appreciate you and what you're doing in the world. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, Terry and Marbeth.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brian.